My name is Robert Pam. I am running for re-election as a trustee of the Jones Library. As treasurer on the library board, I chair the budget and investment committees to ensure that the library spends responsibly and for the long-term benefit of our patrons. In these roles, I provide advice and direction on its financial operations. While the budget is developed and managed by the library director, I lead its review throughout the year. We manage the endowment to earn consistent, competitive, long-term returns that support basic library operations and as a source of capital funds if needed. In carrying out these duties, I maintain a skeptical view of proposals and practices. Is there a better way to go? Would a new proposal work, and what would it cost? If it doesn't work, what are the consequences of a bad result? The resulting discussions are helpful, although not always fun. During a career with the New York City Comptroller, I reviewed and managed a variety of contracts and supported the investment activities of the city pension funds. I have worked with other libraries and on other nonprofit boards. The library is a repository of information that anyone and everyone should have friendly, supportive access to. As a kid in Brooklyn, I experienced how a library opens doors. It will evolve over time, and the form, format, and content should reflect current patron interests, but also offer continuity with materials that serve the wide variety of interests, technical abilities, and needs of our patrons. The Jones location is accessible and enhances the vitality of downtown Amherst. The Jones needs and deserves the active support of all for its annual operations. Management of the staff and day-to-day workings of the library are the responsibility of the library director. We trustees set policy, whether we propose it or respond to staff recommendations. Sometimes it requires deep involvement, sometimes not. Funding adult, youth, and children programs is easy. Considering the library expansion is not. I have been a critical participant in the evolution of the planned expansion. It is true that the planned building will include many square feet without books, just spaces to read or talk or write or think, and that a cheaper plan might have been possible. Over the next 50 years, I don't know how those spaces will be used, but for now, I think the building's interior spaces will work for and attract all of the people and communities we hope and expect will use them, adults and children, teens, language challenged, whomever. The project timing was not within the control of the library. 10 years ago, planning began, and it moved at the speed of a government project, very slowly. In the last few years, a court case, COVID, and inflation have delayed it and raised the cost. All of the town's proposed capital projects are years behind their hoped-for schedules. So the big question is finances. The library has a cost-sharing agreement with the town that essentially fixes the town cost and makes any added cost the library's problem. There are 3 basic questions. What will the project cost? Can the library raise its share of the money? And if the fundraising takes longer than permitted, can the library affordably finance the balance? In 2022, the project cost estimate rose by $10 million to make the library's share $16 million. This June, a new cost estimate came down by $2 million. And in response to these facts, the library's fundraising group successfully increased the amount of state and federal aid by $4 million. Leaving a current projected gap of around $5 million. The focus going forward is and must be on local individuals, businesses, and institutions. Over time, I believe all or most of the remaining library obligation can be raised as the new building is completed and its virtues overshadow the past controversies, but not by the deadline for paying the town. So the library will borrow funds. Unless costs change drastically, I expect the project will be approved by early 2024. I reserve the option to recommend against it if the risks or costs are too high. I think the role I play on the board as analyst and skeptic is needed. I ask for your vote. Thank you.